So now we're going to make some sweet cornbread. In this bowl, we have our dry ingredients. We have 1 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 2/3 of cornmeal. I'm using white cornmeal because that's what I have, but feel free to use yellow. I have 2/3 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. We're going to mix this in with our wet ingredients. In the wet bowl, I have 1/3 cup of oil. You want to use like a veggie oil, canola oil. I have 3 tablespoons of honey. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat up an egg. Well, I'm going to beat up 2 eggs and stick that in this bowl, this mixture here. Now the honey I use in here is a white honey, and that's because it's its flavor is not as pronounced as like a clover or wildflower. The only thing is this honey has been at the end of the jar, so it's a little solidified. But that's all right, I'm gonna work with it. I'm gonna work with it. Now, also in this bowl, it's supposed to be 1 1/2. So right now I have about 1 1/4 of milk, and as needed, I'll add the rest. I'm sorry, I have 1/2 and 1/2, but you can use any milk. Again, my little Christmas. My other wire wrist is done for. And now I'm adding my 2 egg mixture. Mixing it real well. Obviously my pieces of honey. I do have some clover honey, but I didn't want to use that. If you watched my last video on my mission, my honey mission, I was unable to find my favorite honey. So of course now I have some clover honey. You want to mix your dry ingredients really well and start adding them to the wet ingredients. I can probably not use this anymore. I don't like to really add my dry ingredients all at the same time. Just depending on where you are, what's going on with the weather, the humidity, all of those good things determine how you should be baking that day. And it doesn't have to be so silky. I just want to incorporate it really well, that's all. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to let that sit while I prepare my pan. going to use my iron skillet and I'm going to butter it up. I forgot to tell you guys to preheat your oven to 350. Of course, you're going to bake this between 28 minutes, 35 minutes, depending on your oven, your pan that you used. If you don't have an iron skillet, a 9x9 pan will do. If you don't mind a thinner cornbread, you can go for a larger pan. Here you go, people. Beautiful golden brown.